Hello everyone, I'm Tim. Did you know karate's true purpose is self-defense? I'm sure what I'm going to tell you guys today won't come as too much of a surprise, but just like most martial arts, karate was developed as a means to defend oneself from harm. All kata in karate are filled with techniques that are specifically designed for this purpose. So let's dive into the wonderful world of Bunkai. Now the way most people know Bunkai is as a sort of explanation of movements of your kata but with a partner. Now depending on which style you do, depending on your school, these explanations can be either fixed or not. Usually, when your style has kata competition with a bunkai segment, these bunkai will be fixed with very, if any, deviations. Traditionally, the way I was taught, the bunkai in my style of wadoryu were never set in stone and open to interpretation, offering much creativity and challenging the practitioner to search for the meaning behind the movements. With a fixed bunkai and using it in competition, it's usually a case of form over function, or as just Enkamp would say,
many modern styles focus on self-perfection rather than self-protection.
And both are noble targets to pursue if you define that any of these are your true goal. Of course, whatever explanation I just gave, bunkai is often taught at the wrong moment, because karate's primary purpose is self-defense. Let me explain. What is self-defense? I would say it's the system you use to defend yourself or your loved ones from harm. It's no coincidence then that this is almost exactly the definition Ito Suanku gave for karate in his first precept. Karate is not merely practiced for your own benefit. It can be used to protect one's family or master. It is not intended to be used against a single assailant, but instead as a way of avoiding injury by using the hands and feet should one by any chance be confronted by a villain or ruffian. So, keeping this in mind, isn't it weird we teach some abstract forms to our students first to let them later try and find out just what or how these movements can be used to defend themselves? Seems counterproductive, right? And that's exactly the point. In my opinion, you should first define the problem. Someone attacks you. Before you define the solution, your brand of self-defense. Instead of finding a bunch of solutions, but being unable to link them to a realistic problem. In doing this, it's very important you do not overcomplicate things. Sometimes the same solution can be used for different problems, like in the following video.
This is a square. Can you guess which spot that goes in? That's right, it goes in the square hole. And how about this rectangle? That one, that goes in there too. Up next, we've got this thin rectangle. Can you guess where that goes? That's right, it goes in the square hole. And up next, a cylinder. I think that goes in the square hole. Now, we've also got this semicircle right here. Do you see a slot that would fit the semicircle? That's right, it's the square hole. Okay, up next, the triangle. We know what hole that goes into, right? That's right, the square hole. And up next, we have the arch. And you guessed it, it goes in the square hole.
There is no karate without kata. Funakoshi said, it is safe to say that karate begins and ends with kata. And Mabuni said, in karate, the most important thing is kata. There is no kata without bunkai. But there shouldn't be bunkai without a clear sight on against what it is you're trying to defend yourself. I used to teach kata first, and after that I taught the applications. However, in my years of teaching karate, I found it was easier to start teaching students to defend themselves against common attacks like a punch to the face or someone trying to grab you or whatever, using easy to remember techniques. After some time, we can move on to more elaborate techniques and we can start to use Kata as our manual, a blueprint if you will. To finalize it, I teach individual forms to make it possible for my students to individually train the self-defense techniques. These are the Kata. This is, by the way, exactly what Hanshi McCarthy's HAPV theory is all about. This increases understanding of the sometimes strange movements in Kata, because let's face it, there are some outlandish movements in some Kata, and without context, without Bunkai, these are just weird. Now, next week, we'll be talking about the Kata names and what they mean. What about you guys? How do you go about learning or teaching Kata? Is karate's main purpose self-defense for you? Or do you use it for anything else? Leave a comment down below and let's talk about it. I'm curious about you guys' opinions. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe. For now, I wish you a great day. And as always, thanks for watching